Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of the U.S. Embassy Insider. As you can see, today we're in a location that's different from normal, and I'm super excited to be at the Philippine-American Educational Foundation in their offices and spending time with a colleague of mine who just started as the new executive director, Benjie Garcia. Benjie, thank you so much for hosting us today.
No worries, and welcome to the Fulbright office in Manila.
I'm so glad to be here. I understand there is a special year coming up. Can you give us a little preview?
Well, 2018, the Fulbright Commission in the Philippines celebrates its 70th year.
Wow, 70 years!
Yes, we were created on March 23 through a bilateral agreement between the U.S. and Philippine governments. And since then, we've accepted almost 3,000 scholars to the U.S.
3,000 Filipinos going to the U.S.?
Yes.
Wow.
We've also had a good number of U.S. scholars come to the Philippines to do their research and get acquainted with the local universities here. So it's been quite a memorable 70 years. We're the oldest Fulbright program in the world and the oldest education exchange here in the Philippines. So it's quite a significant achievement for us here.
Well, it further demonstrates our alliance, our friendship, our partnership.
Definitely.
The roots between the U.S. and the Philippines really do go deep. 70 years. That's fantastic. Benjie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you become the new executive director here?
Well, I don't have the 70 years experience.
Of course not.
I have 19 years of professional experience in program management, business development, and marketing and promotions. Previous to this, I was the executive director for a foreign chamber of commerce, and at the same time, before that, I used to be the education manager for an embassy here in the Philippines.
Okay, so you've got the education, you've got the international,
Right.
you've got the experience. You were tailor-made for this job.
It feels like it.
Good. That's wonderful to hear. So can you tell me, what is the Fulbright Commission and how does it differ from the Philippine-American Educational Foundation?
Well, it's one and the same, actually. When we were established in 1948, we were called the American Educational Foundation in the Philippines. We were created through a bilateral agreement when the Philippine government started to contribute funds to the program to reflect the bilateral nature. That's when we were renamed in 1963 to the Philippine-American Educational Foundation.
Got it. And the Philippine-American Educational Foundation handles all Fulbright exchanges for the Philippines?
Yes.
Fantastic. But Fulbright exchanges happen around the world?
Yes, we are part of a network of 50 Fulbright commissions around the world, which accepts applications from 155 countries.
Okay. And so how does the Fulbright Commission work? How does this happen?
We're responsible for administering the Fulbright as well as other exchange programs such as Hubert Humphrey and the global undergraduate programs here in the Philippines. We have a board of directors and the secretariat. And the board has representatives from the U.S. and Philippine governments.
The bilateral?
Yes. And the honorary chairman is the U.S. ambassador at any given time.
Okay, wonderful. So how many U.S. scholars are in the Philippines right now? And are there any Filipino scholars in the United States right now?
Well, for now, we have 11 U.S. scholars here in the Philippines doing research or delivering lectures from a range of topics, anywhere from law, agriculture, all the way up to something as specific as this is actually my favorite. One recent U.S. scholar who just came in, I think 2 weeks ago, is doing research on humpback whales in the northern Philippines, the northernmost tip of the Philippines.
Wow, that is very specific and also very remote.
It is, and it's quite interesting how the U.S. scholars get to know about these fields and why they chose the Philippines. And when we get to talk to them, when we get to engage with them, it really shows how they did their research in terms of areas and fields to study or do research here in the Philippines. For Filipino scholars, we definitely have a good number in the U.S. right now. That accounts for the most number of Fulbright scholars. It's usually about 80% of the total number.
Really?
Yes.
Well represented.
Yes,
Wow.
very well represented.
And similar areas of research?
We have a total of 14 programs. 9 of them are offered to Filipinos. They range from the usual postgraduate or undergraduate programs to areas where we have specific partnerships in specific fields. Like, for example, we have the Fulbright CHED program to skill up local lecturers and professors in terms of their research capabilities. So that's in the field of teaching and education. We also have a partnership that delivers agricultural programs. So we have a good mix of fields of studies.
Yeah, and that's an incredible number of Filipinos currently on programs.
Mhm.
And how long, what's the duration? How long do the U.S. scholars stay here, and how long do the Filipino scholars stay there?
Well, again, since we have wide suite of scholarship programs and exchange programs, it can last anywhere from 3 months all the way up to postgraduate programs, 3 to 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So it really depends on the objectives of the applicant. So we can address skill-specific or area-specific needs. We definitely started on the more traditional program, which are the postgraduates and undergraduate programs.
Now, I understand there's some really interesting, notable Filipino Fulbright alumni.
Yes.
Can you tell us about a few of them?
Well, with 70 years in our back,
Legend, right?
yeah, in our back pocket. I mean, we've had some very high achieving and high profile alumni. We count people such as Nicanor Abueva, national artist. We also have Dr. Angel
In what area?
national scientist.
Ah, okay.
And we have also former central bank governor and former ambassador to the U.S., Jose Quisha Jr. So we also have Miss Winnie Monsod. She's a notable economist here in the Philippines, and at the same time also a syndicated journalist and a regular TV commentator. And we also have people such as Lucrecia Casilag for she's a national artist for music.
And the list goes on.
And the list goes on.
Well, with 70 years, so who's qualified to apply for a Fulbright scholarship?
We have a whole range of programs, so each program would have very specific requirements, but across the board, our requirements really, we're looking for the best and the brightest in their fields or in their professions who have the potential of contributing to their fields or to their organizations. We recently also removed any restrictions in terms of age, so anybody in terms of their age can apply for the programs.
That's exciting. And how does one apply?
Well, we have all of the program information and application forms online, so they can just visit our website. We also conduct regular roadshows and visits to universities or institutions where we provide information about the different programs and at the same time accept questions. They can also get our application forms there. We have a set deadline for all of these programs, and we welcome anybody who would like to inquire to get in touch with us through our contact details on our website.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And so what is behind us this afternoon? What have you got here?
Well, the Fulbright Commission here has its own library. So we house the research output of our scholars here, both Filipino scholars and U.S. scholars. And, people can come in and have a look at our research. We also have some review materials for people who are interested to take up a Fulbright program. And we're open every day, every work day, from 8:30 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
And so people can come in, do research,
Yes.
ask questions, learn about Fulbright.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So 70 years
70
of
years.
exchanges. This is a big year for you. Can you tell us what's in store? How are you celebrating?
Well, what we have planned for the 70th anniversary is a year-long campaign featuring a lecture series by prominent alumni here in the Philippines. We also have visits by prominent Fulbrighters, we call our alumni,
Fulbrighters.
not just from the Philippines but from all over the world. So we have plans of highlighting them when they come to visit the Philippines. We'll also have cultural events, photo exhibits. We're expecting quite a really great collection of memorabilia, photos, and all of these mementos from our alumni, ranging from as far back as 1948, and we'll be showing that to the public.
Wow.
The highlight of the anniversary will be a gala night on March 23, the date when the bilateral agreement was signed.
In 1948.
48. 1948.
Well, Benjie, thank you so much for teaching us about the Fulbright Commission,
Very
talking to us
welcome.
about your background, and sharing so much useful information about who can apply, how to apply, and what kinds of programs exist. I've learned a lot, and it's so impressive to hear about the 70 years of partnership and how that has really enriched both of our countries. It's really touching. So thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome, Molly, and we encourage everybody to have a look at the Fulbright programs being offered, and we're here to answer any questions that you may have.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the U.S. Embassy Insider. We will see you again next month. As always, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, send us your questions, and check out our Instagram. Are you following us on Instagram? Thanks a lot. We'll see you next month.